Hi, Merry Christmas, everybody. Thank you for joining in. I'm super excited to kind of break down what this new launch is all about. And I really think it's going to benefit all of us. There are just some things that we have to get used to for those of us who have a customer base. I'm going to start off and just talk about the personal use consultant. That way, you guys, if you want to hang up or disconnect after I talk about how this can benefit you, you don't have to listen to all the things that we that have large customer bases or even small customer bases will have to change over. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, Mary Kay's website, our customer website now that we use is going to be called MyShop. And we're no longer going to have the credit card transaction service that was connected to our website, ProPay. Now, there is a place for ProPay for those of us who have a customer base, and I'll tell you more about that when I get to the working consultant part of this training. Okay. So let's talk about the personal use consultant. This is first of all, is going to be a contactless transaction, which is what many of consumers want today, and that is what's led to this change. Mary Kay trying to reach those consultants that just don't want that one-on-one. And that's just how things are going. Sometimes some people do, some people don't. We want to connect with those people. And so the contactless sale is how it's going to benefit you. So if I keep going back and forth to my notes, I'm just going to try to stay on point. This is why most personal use will benefit. We already know that you love the product. That's why you stayed in for yourself and maybe for family members and close friends. But the traditional Mary Kay business just doesn't fit your season, and that's okay. But there's still now going to be a way that you can get a little bit of money going directly in to your bank account. So like a side hustle. So Mary Kay is what they're going to do on this My Shop. They're going to use a 10 to 50 mile radius when a consumer, now I'm going to use the word consumer for you guys because you don't have to maintain these customers. Hang on. Sorry about that. I'm going to use consumer because you do not have to maintain these customers. These customers are going to log on to marykay.com and they're going to put in their address or zip code and they're going to shop. And if they do not have a consultant, it's going to ask them, do you have a consultant? And if they say no, then your name is going to pop up if you're in that consumer's 10 to 50 mile radius. All right, how exciting is that? What happens next is they're going to check out, they're going to pay. Mary Kay is going to process the order, process the card, fill the order, and ship the order, and then deposit the profit into your checking account. All right. And so that's why you have to have your social security number and a bank account routing number ready when you set up your MyShop and your Stripe. Okay. And I'm going to talk about how to do that in just a second. Next thing, and it all this takes place within what I'm told is like a 24-hour to 48-hour. So ching to ching. And you know, we're the number one selling brand. And so we're a six billion plus dollar company. So there's a lot of business out there. And so you just having your MyShop and MyStripe available, and who knows, like, why not do this, right? All right, so easy sales, easy money, even make money while you sleep. So other ways that you could get sales is on your social media. You're going to have a link when you set up the My Shop and the Stripe, and it's all free, by the way. Your My Shop is free. Your Stripe is free. Mary Kay will deduct the credit card transaction fee from your profit, and your customers are going to pay the shipping. And so I'll give you kind of a breakdown of like if you had a certain amount of, you know, a sale, what your profit would be. All right, so you're gonna make money while you sleep. You will have a link to your shop and then you can post it like I just mentioned. You're going to have the ability to always, always, always have a 30% profit and a 50% profit. And that's even for your personal inventory order. Now, I'm using the word inventory lightly. I know you're not stocking inventory. You are using the inventory for yourself. And it's just a word, a verbiage for me to use to keep everything separated. Okay. So let's say that it's December and you're getting your personal stuff and you're doing some Christmas shopping and you've placed your normal active 225 wholesale order, which normally would give you 450 retail products, and you have that discount, say from December, January, February. Okay, during those 3 months, if someone goes on to your MyShop account and they order, you're going to now get 50% profit. Okay. If you haven't gotten active, just like the old days, then you wouldn't have gotten a discount. Now, when they're shopping on MyShop, you automatically get 30%. Okay. Your next question might be, what if I'm ordering for myself for my inventory and I'm not active? That is the only thing where you do have to have at least $100 wholesale order. So we know that those of you who are personal use, you're going to easily have that. And so that's how you will get your 30% if you're not active. All right. But your MyShop consumers do not have a minimum for you to be able to make a profit. Isn't that wonderful? And so that is very, very exciting. All right, so on your own offline orders, that's what we'll call those offline orders or your inventory order. You can place your $100 wholesale and you'll have your 30%. And then if you do your 225 wholesale, you'll get your 50%. And then you'll be active and your MyShop consumer orders will be a 50% profit. Okay, so hang on, let me move page my sheets so we can move through this quickly. So if you're, and remember that I think I've kind of skipped ahead. If MyShop order is placed by consumer, when your status is inactive, there will be no limit and you'll automatically get 30%. But once again, if you're active, you'll get 50%. Example, if a consumer ordered 50% or $50 retail on your shop and you're in the inactive status, your profit on that is $15. The consumer pays the shipping. If you are active, your profit on a $50 order is $25. Mary Kay collects the taxes also. You don't have to do anything. It's super, super simple. Customers will automatically be charged shipping unless you've gone in and clicked no shipping. But you have to do that in 30-day windows. So what I advise you is just to keep this simple for the personal use consultants is just let it be what it is, okay? Most people, when they order online now, they pay shipping and they're okay with that. We're going to talk about what to do when you have customers and you don't want them paying shipping. We're going to discuss that in just a second. Keep it easy. Just set up MyShop and Stripe and let the company do the rest. Now, how do you set it up? You're going to go into InTouch and you're going to go under Resources, okay? Resources is going to drop down and you're going to look for Connect Hub. Okay, click Connect Hub, and then you're going to scroll down, and there's lots of information talking about everything that I'm talking about right now. But I've just given you the condensed version. You're going to see where it says Connect or Set Up MyShop. All right, so before you do, you want to have your bank account routing number ready, and you can actually put in 6 pictures of family. You, your family, your dog, your kids, whatever you want to make it personal, or you can just leave it blank. It's super easy. I did everything from my phone just because I don't know how to upload my pictures from my laptop. So I have all my pictures on my phone and boom, boom, boom. If you ever remember setting up your Mary Kay website, it just goes through the screens asking you questions, okay? And if you don't know the answer, just do whatever. I think it defaults to whatever, or you can even text me and ask me a question. So go through and set up, and then after you set up the MyShop, then it leads you right into Stripe. Okay. And Stripe is your credit card transaction service. All right. And here's the thing, you don't have an app. You do nothing with Stripe. Stripe is only connected to your MyShop. So you don't have to do anything. Seriously, like I'm going to keep saying that because it's super, super simple. All right. There are some things with us that have customers who pay with credit card because we can't use Stripe to collect offline orders from texts and emails and things like that. We'll talk about that in a second. So if you want to stay on and listen how to do that, I'm going to address that. All right, so back to you go through your Stripe, you answer all the questions, you put in your routing number to the bank that you want the money to go in, and then you put in your social, and then you know that you've got it set up. Once you've gone through the screens, go through every screen and hit next, hit next, so that it calculate or not calculates, it finishes that screen. And then if you want to go back up to MyShop, you'll see a green active on MyShop, and then you'll also see a green active on Stripe. Then you know that it's ready. It's ready for Mary Kay to launch it live. And then what I suggest, and I'm going to suggest this to the working consultants, is get a family member to go on there and buy something so that you can see what the process looks like. Okay. Now, I do know this because it's technology and I'm techno challenged. I do anticipate some glitches, and I think we just have to be patient because this is a big launch. It's a big overhaul, and I'm just going to have give the company and the tech support grace. But I think overall, it's super exciting. Okay, I'm really, really excited for you guys, especially the personal use consultant, because this is the way to get your brand out there of a product that you love. I mean, think about it. I know many of you still get compliments on your skin, and we know that Mary Kay's the best skincare out there. And so just, like I said, post your link and get some money, make some money. It'll be exciting. All right, so this is where if you're personal use and you don't need to hear anything else. You can, disconnect. You're welcome to, continue on because you never know what I'm going to say. And if I remember something that I forgot. Okay. All right. So let's go to the working consultant. The personal website is now called MyShop, and the credit card transaction is Stripe, but you do nothing with Stripe. Stripe is completely maintained and used by Mary Kay. So we're going to talk about that and let's go ahead and address that now. So here's what I did. I emailed ProPay because I have my ProPay. It's on my app. My customers' cards are stored. I love it. Like I literally can travel and work my business from my phone. Okay. And I thought, well, how do we get to Stripe? Well, you don't. And so, but there, a lot of customers pay in different ways now. Of course, I knew that. I've got customers who pay Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Zelle, and still literally just 3 customers that still pay by check. So what I did was I want to keep my ProPay, and ProPay said that we will continue to be able to use ProPay. It's just not going to be attached to your Mary Kay orders like it was before, when you could go in to check out and it says, hey, you've got $600 in your ProPay. Do you want to use this for this order? Of course. Well, no, now the money goes, you move the money, it goes in, you have to manually move the money. So if you're on your app, there's a little thing that says transfer funds. When you're ready to get your money, you transfer it to your bank account. And they have said that they're going to keep the same rate. I took a screenshot of our rate to make sure as the years go by that they don't change that. And if they do, I'll look for another transaction service. But for now, I'm keeping my ProPay for my offline orders. Okay. Because remember, if any of my customers, order on MyShop, I have no control. Mary Kay does it. And so, I will tell you, if my neighbor orders, then they're mailing her stuff, and I don't want that to happen because I have inventory. And so excuse me, I have gone in and emailed all my customers and said, hey, if you're local to me, please don't order on my shop. Just call me, text me, just take a screenshot, shop on there all you want, take a screenshot of what you want, and I will, um, deliver it to you, bring it across the street, whatever. And so there's no shipping. My customers are not used to paying shipping. And I told them that I will continue that service. Now, if you would have to go in every 30 days to say no shipping. Well, that can be a hassle. So what I've told my customers is if you're going to order, let me know and you can go in and click on certain customers, no shipping. But I've also, like I said, told them just call me, just text me, call me. That way I can continue that service of uh, no shipping. Discounts are the same thing. You can actually go in and you can do customer discount. You can put all customers or select the customers. You can't do free shipping or a discount. Okay. And so to me, these are all just going to be offline orders. Okay. And so that's why I need to have my ProPay to be able to process the offline orders. All right. So that's some of the things, the little, maintenance that we have to work through. If a customer accidentally orders and she gets charged shipping, I think there's going to be a place that you can go in and credit it back to her. That's, to me, that's a hassle. And so I'm going to just keep reminding my customers, if you don't want free shipping, if you want free shipping, then text it to me. But in the end, for those personal use consultants that are on your team, this is a big benefit. And if you're a team, a team member, Red Jacket, if your team members are ordering, that helps your production and things like that. So, all right. So let's go through your customer website order is going to migrate over only 2 years of sales on your order. Okay, hang on. And so, I mean, that's probably not a big deal to a lot of you. We've talked about the 10 to 50 mile radius. Okay. And so it's important that you do go in and set that up as soon as possible. It goes live December 17th. CDS orders are still available for us to send offline orders. So like let's say my customer in Arizona, she'll always text me. I can go in and do a CDS order just like normal, but I have to pay with my own credit card and I have to collect from her. So, and I'll just collect through my ProPay and then I'll pay with my credit card. And so no big deal. And the CDS is going to still be a thing, which I'm super excited about. So all of that's still going to probably look the same, pulling from your customer base. It's just how your customers are going to order. All right. Hobby consultants will be able to work their business without inventory. All right. So obviously that's what I just talked about, the personal use consultant. You can still create a sales ticket for customers from my customer. So I'm a dinosaur. Didn't even know that was a thing because I'm paper. I write out my sales tickets. I have to give a copy. I file a copy. You guys, this is terrible, but I still have every single sales ticket for the last 25 years. I can't just throw them away. I can't because I go back and look at things. People ask me, like, I have customers that they're still with me for 25 years and they might want to know something. I know I need to get rid of at least 10 years worth, but I'm a paper girl. But for those of you who are savvy, tech savvy, you can create a sales ticket from my customer still. All right. So going on to the last page, and I think we're almost done. I think it would have covered everything. Yeah, we talked about offline orders. You can still do those. ProPay, check out with your ProPay, find out when your app site expires. We just talked about that. This is later. I trained on this earlier in the week, but I have since talked to ProPay and know that we are still going to be able to keep our ProPay, but it's not going to be affiliated with Mary Kay at all. Okay. When you set up MyShop, it will take you to the Stripe setup. You'll need your social bank account. I've already said that. MyShop is not available in Guam and the U.S. Virgin Islands. I don't know what that's about. I'm sure it's got something to do with the Stripe and their guidelines. Um, Guest checkout will go and check out. She'll fill out her personal information. And so let's see, saying great service. We talked about the shipping. I talked about how to set it up. And once it's active, it's green. So this is the last thing I'm going to say, consultant. So it's very important. I mentioned this with the personal use that you go in and do I want to say a fake order, but I think you have to buy something or get one of get a family member to buy something, okay? And it's important that we see at what stage it's going to ask you, do you have a consultant? Because this is my thing. I told you there might be some glitches. Anticipate some glitches so that we can notify corporate and the tech support. But we need to make sure that this answer, when a consumer is checking out or your customer is checking out, and it asks her, "Do you have a customer or do you have a consultant?" We need that to be big and bold. People they're trying to, text. They're not tech savvy. They're not reading everything. We do not want someone to miss that question and they go to check out and all these consultants populate, because I have customers in 16 states. My name and my 50-mile radius is not going to populate in Arizona. So it's important that my customers click that. Do you have a consultant? Yes. Do you know her name? Michelle Byers. It's important that your customers know your name, your first name, last name, okay? So that you do not lose an order because they miss that and it's not bold enough or it's not, like flashing, "I have a consultant." So that is my one. I'm antsy about this and I cannot wait. That's the first thing I'm going to be looking for. I want you to be looking for it as well, because we've all worked too hard building our customer bases in across the whole country, because we had no geographic areas. We had no territories. And I do not want to lose all those customers because they can't see I have a consultant. And, do they need to know my first name, last name, state? Your customers need to know you. They need to know who you are. And so we have to make sure that this is not going to be something that's going to be easily overlooked. All right. So we have to make sure that we keep our business easy and that we can, if we keep it easy, we can sell our position and we can team build and everybody can make money on this amazing, amazing product. Now, I hope that has helped you. And, first thing is go in touch, like I said, under resources at the tab, the menu bar, and get that set up. Be ready for December 17th. I'm super excited. And text me, call me if you have any questions. We're all in this together. You guys have a great day and Merry Christmas if I don't talk to you.